God, this haunted house sucks. I paid $20 and I have not found a scary room yet. Really? A room full of goblins? I literally play mono red. This is nothing. Fine, I'm gonna find another room. Are you 18? Because if not, I'm going to the cops right now. I'm not scared, and I'm being sexually harassed by a child. This is just the. Go home to your parents. It's past your bedtime. Fine. This is the final room. Looks like a garage almost. Open the door and see what's behind this.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey, Moreland.
I'm pregnant.
Cool.
And you're the father.
No!
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Free Rotation podcast. We don't really have a host for this episode, but I'm Becky, and I'm always joined with my good friends, Angie and Moreland.
Hi.
Oh, I did a thumbs up. They can't see me, so hello.
Angie, this is an audio podcast, not a video podcast.
Are you here?
And even if it was a video podcast, you wouldn't be on it, remember?
That's true.
So thumbs up does not work
you
here.
You can't see me.
But we are also joined...
Oh,
God, here. Speaking of which, we are still one down, one fat man who is breastfeeding his new baby. So Bobby is with us again for our next episode on horror movies.
Jesus Christ, why'd you let me all back on? This is a fucking nightmare and you know it.
You wanted to come back. What are you talking about?
Shut the fuck up.
You were begging us, literally.
I was not begging.
The second the last one ended, you were like, can I come back for the next one? Please, 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 please. Anybody else remember that?
No.
You keep talking like that, I'm going to put my tongue in your mouth.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Sexual tension.
Anyways.
So yeah, this episode we are talking horror movies, which it's actually good that we have the four of us because Scoob is a big fat chicken anyways. And at the end of this episode, we do have audio from when Scoob did Watch It Follows. I haven't listened to it, and I'm editing this episode, so I'm going to just throw in the best of Scoob being a little bitch at the end of this episode as the outro.
Wait, did you record the entirety from watching the movie?
Essentially what happened is we had our last rotation was a rotation called The Fuck Are We Doing?
Sure. So
we made Scoob watch a scary movie, so he had the recorder and had to sit there and watch a scary movie and record it as he was being a little bitch.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
They tried to make me cry.
Aw.
They failed.
Oh, I can make you cry.
No.
Tears of joy.
No.
You think I'm joking?
Welcome back to this Free Rotation After Dark.
It is red in here, so.
It is not with the blood of my enemies. Anyways, so yeah, today we were talking about horror movies.
Spoopy movies.
So I know a lot of us have probably seen a lot of the similar movies, and all of us are pretty big fans of horror movies. But are we talking scary movies, or are we talking like just the horror
horror, like
horror
thriller
genre?
Get Out's on my list, and that's not really a horror, but it's more thriller. Get Out's dope.
Yeah, that was good.
I bought that too. So
Get Out. Yeah, it looks like a good movie.
You didn't watch it yet?
I haven't seen it.
You're borrowing it.
Okay.
Essentially, you are.
It was forced
borrowing
upon me. You are borrowing it. Okay.
Yep.
More
Seems
than
good.
a poopy diaper anyway.
Why am I a poopy diaper?
I don't know. I don't feel well today, so everybody's poopy.
The Falcons one. Why are you upset?
You're right. And
Matt Ryan had two rushing touchdowns. He's white with chicken legs, and that's the most rushing touchdowns Atlanta's had since Michael Vick was here, and that was a hot minute ago. So.
And in the final seconds of the game, Atlanta's defense came up with a fantastic block on a Hail Mary pass that was really well thrown.
Good job, guys. I didn't see it. Good job.
That's a different kind of horror we can talk about is the horror of being an Atlanta fan of anything. Like, that's truly...
Atlanta baseball. Atlanta,
Whoa. The Braves have won a World Series.
Once.
Doesn't matter. It still counts.
In the 30 years that they've gone.
I don't care.
The Boston Braves won.
The Milwaukee Braves did too. All three iterations of the Braves have won.
That they don't count because they weren't in Atlanta.
Horror movies, guys. Horror movies.
28 to 3 is horror, Becky.
Yeah, that's a whole different...
Stop.
I have nightmares to this day. So, yeah, let's talk about some of our favorites. Anybody want to throw out a favorite? I know that 3 of us in here have seen one that is a pretty good favorite of all of us.
It Follows.
It Follows.
This movie makes me horny just thinking about it because it's so well fucking made. Holy shit.
It really is. That's the one Scoob watched.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's one of those that stays in your head. Just yesterday, I had an It Follows moment. I was like, Becky, what if we're sitting in the car waiting on you to grandma pull out of the space and suddenly It Follows just comes right at us? You haven't seen it more, but it's scary.
I'm going to watch
it's
it.
relentless. It's just right at you.
I'm going to watch it on my next off day.
No, and the creature is so different. Like, I'm going to spoil a little something for you. It's not. You'll find out in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the movie. The creature doesn't really have an identity. It takes the form of a random person or a person you know, and it follows you relentlessly
Until it kills you.
Yeah, and
it's like the Goat Man,
essentially
but relentless.
Okay.
Kind of mindless.
Mm-hmm. It shows some signs of intelligence, but not like it's not like a genius. It's like above average intelligence, like a normal person would have.
Okay, so basically, if it's following you, and you run into a room and lock the door,
it's coming.
It can break it down.
It
happens.
It doesn't run at you.
Yeah.
It just walks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To me, that's scarier. That's what made Jason so horrifying.
Exactly.
He just walked after you.
All he did was walk. He didn't run. He didn't try to get you. He didn't teleport
and I'd
around
like
like Freddy.
Jason when we finish this.
He did in the remake. He did run, which I appreciated that, and also showed how he got around the camp through the tunnels underneath, which is it made it like, oh, he disappears instead. Like this is before he was like a zombie and shit.
Yeah.
Like I was like, cool. But anyway, back to It Follows.
The thing It Follows was it was terrifying in the sense that it was the relentlessness of it, but the fact that you never knew what was actually following you.
Yep.
Because in the movie, I don't want to spoil too much.
Take any face.
Yeah. You see just random people walking, and you just don't know which one is following the main protagonist of the movie.
The scariest scene in the movie to me is they go to a college campus to try and find out some more information. And across the campus, across the quad, you can see people walking, but this one person is walking straight at them, but she looks like a student. You don't know. Is It Follows? Probably. But you never know. They get in their car and drive away, and she kind of turns to follow, and you're like, oh, it was It Follows. But just broad daylight, sunshine, she's coming after you. She's gonna get you.
It's essentially
that's creepy.
Yeah, it's essentially a curse. The creature's trajectory is passed on via sex. Like you have sex with a person, the curse is transferred to them until they die, and then it comes back to you.
Yeah, it's like a metaphor for an STD almost. Like
so, if you're a giant whore, you're pretty much safe.
No, because like if you don't know about the creature and you don't know it's following you, then you'll probably get killed. Because there's a scene in the movie where one of the characters gets the curse to save the main girl, has sex with a couple of prostitutes, but then like a week or two later, the creature's back after him.
It comes back after you.
And if you don't know about the creature, you're not going to know the dangers, like some creep following you. You're going to try and stop it normally, and it's not going to fucking work.
So if you don't warn them, that's why I think the guy warned her, the one who passed it to her, so she would last longer. So he wouldn't have to do it again.
Well, yeah, because he wanted to preserve himself. That was the whole reason why he ended up having... I mean, this is all stuff you find out way with the beginning of the movie. So it's not spoilers.
And only...
I mean, it is spoilers, but
it's spoilers in the sense that this is what the setup of the movie is. Yeah. So if you've ever Googled, like, what is It Follows? It's like, here's the paragraph of it.
I'm not like Scoob. I don't go on IMDb and,
spoil the crap out of yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One also creepy things is only the person that's cursed with the creature following them can see it. Like, there's a scene where the main protagonist is being attacked, and she's being lifted up by the fucking hair, and it just looks like she's fucking floating.
So
like, they can't see
warn her that it's coming.
Yeah, it's only they can see it.
They're sitting on this beach at one point, and at first they don't know that nobody else can see it.
Yeah.
And it comes around the corner, and you see it as the viewer, and you're like, holy crap, it's right there. It's just walking with a purpose. Just walking.
Though there is a way to defeat the creature.
Become
a flight attendant and fly. Because it walks.
Yeah, that's
just fly
me
different
and
countries
Andy had
every
that
other day.
Debate too. Is like, since it has to walk everywhere, because at one point, they start to figure out if we drive really fast away, maybe we can get like a couple minutes away from it. Like, if you just kept flying back and forth, like, would it ever catch you?
It doesn't run. It just walks.
It's like the $1 million butt with the snail. You get $1 million every year for the rest of your life, and you're immortal, but you have an immortal snail that's chasing you down. And if it touches it touches you, it'll kill you.
So don't you just like get like go like into like in cold, it's an immortal snail, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like super cold environment. Its blood slows down and it freezes.
It's immortal, so it's
If
gonna.
it's a snail, why couldn't you just put like a pot around it?
It'll go through things and whatnot.
Oh, I see.
It's got like kind of special powers, so you
so it's
can't
kind of
like
like it follows.
you
It can
can't
get through any
you can't
obstacle.
trap it. It'll go through stuff.
Now,
It's a
can you
snail
put a
wizard.
tracker on it? Is that a thing? Oh yeah, put a tracker on it. You just know where it is at all times. You're golden.
Yeah, well, I mean, have somebody else put a tracker on it. 'Cause if
Yeah.
it touches you, you're dead.
Yeah, true.
Well, on the same note, the movie that we were going to also make Scoob watch if he had, for whatever reason, spoiled himself on It Follows was in Sinister. Yes, Sinister was super scary.
One of the critics for a podcast you listen to, The Spill, was a movie podcast years ago. It's still around, I think. But one of the guys that was on that show left to write and direct Sinister.
Really?
Yep. Don't know the guy's
cool.
name. He was kind of a douchebag, so I was kind of glad he was gone. He was super pretentious. It was annoying.
The thing with Sinister is like it was an inverse of what It Follows is because It Follows to me is more of a slow burn.
Yes.
Like it slow burns up
That you
to like
think about way after.
yeah,
the fact.
like it kind of like sits there. Sinister is the jump scares in it are what make it so scary.
Well, not really even jump scares, but he's watching like home movies left, and there's tons of home movies. And each time he watches it, it's like, oh, that's cute. Oh, okay. Oh, that kid just killed his entire family. And there's a demon in the woods. Like,
Oh.
he can see the demon getting closer and closer.
Oh,
So it revolves around that. And it's like a demon from these films. He has to be filmed. Kind of like a Freddy New Nightmare, where people stop making his movies, so he comes into reality to be remembered. It's a lot like that.
yeah, because
Which Freddy New Nightmare was one of my favorite Freddy movies.
Yeah, it's
That's a
this.
good
I
one.
I put it right behind the third one. I really like Dream Warriors.
Dream
It's
Warriors.
super MTV and
Yeah.
great.
Dream Warriors was good.
Dream Warriors was really good.
I didn't like the what's the one that Dream Child after.
Oh.
No, it's
Yeah.
Dream Master then Dream Child.
I didn't like Dream Child.
Dream Master was still alright.
It
Dream
was-
Warriors was the best. Where she's
Dream-
in the hospital.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, that one was good.
What got me mad about the Dream Child is like the surviving cast members. Spoilers from the third one die like all in the first 10 minutes. I'm like, the fuck.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
just
It's
like,
so
oh, by the way,
frustrating.
these guys are people.
Because
They're
the
dead.
black guy was the greatest. He was super sassy and shit, and I loved the hell out of him.
Right?
And he was like super strong. I was like, I want to marry him.
And then dead 10 minutes in. Like, trapped in a hellish junkyard.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Oh, that's
I didn't
fucking
really
lovely.
watch a lot of those movies.
I watched them all. I loved them all.
Well, we were talking about It Follows being scary because of the relentless walking and mentioned Jason. Friday the 13th, Part 7, where Jason's up against the psychic.
Oh, versus Carrie.
Yes,
Essentially.
and he gets mad, and it's the first one you see Jason get like, "Fuck you, bitch,"
Yeah.
because she's his equal,
Uh-huh.
and she as a telekinetic, she can move stuff. So he's chasing her, and she turns around and gets like a light pole to drop a wire and electrocute him, and just throws him around and pushes him off the dock in the water, which you know is his big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't tell you the end of that movie, but she actually does.
Did she
something
set him
with
on fire too? Like
She
he sprays a
did,
gas can on
yes.
him.
Wait, did we see this one together in a movie
Oh,
theater?
No,
this-
it's just
this
from
is
the
a-
'80s.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I feel like there was one similar to that,
So
but
I
maybe
think
I'm
I was-
Angie may have seen it in the movie theater.
No, I saw Part 8 in the theater, and I was like 13
Manhattan?
then.
Oh.
Was that Manhattan?
Yeah, I think Jason Takes Manhattan.
The only good part about the movie is when he's walking down the street
no,
and
no,
kicks
no,
the.
Part 8. That's not Jason Takes Manhattan. That's
Oh.
Part 10. I think 10 is Jason Takes
I thought
Manhattan.
Jason X was the one in space.
Oh,
Jason X is the one in space.
Because the 9 is the one where he goes to hell, where he transports through bodies.
but 8 is the one where they're just out camping again, and he's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's Manhattan.
No.
I'll see which one is
Yeah.
Jason.
I just
Takes
remember
Manhattan.
Manhattan's the only good scene about that movie was when he's walking down the street and kicks the boombox and those thugs like whip a switchblade out on him, and all Jason does is lift up his mask at him. You don't see it. You don't see where it's underneath the mask, but they're like, "Oh shit, my bad, bro," and they run away. Fun fact about that movie: not a single scene except for the Times Square.
No, it is 8.
Yeah.
Jason
Oh, it
Takes
is 8.
Manhattan is 8.
If the only scene that takes place in New York is filmed in New York is the Times Square part. Everything else is filmed in Vancouver. Because it's a hell of a lot cheaper to film in Vancouver than it is in New York.
Oh, that's
And
how.
Vancouver's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
Beautiful.
And now it's cheaper to film in Georgia. Everything is getting filmed in
Because
Georgia.
of the tax credits.
Tax breaks. Yep.
Yep.
God bless.
Same reason AT&T is here.
I fucking hate them. For completely different reasons. Sorry.
AT&T, I love you. Sponsor us.
So I guess my question is then,
Except for Bobby.
Bobby.
I'm a big proponent of scary horror movies, more of the scarier stuff. Are y'all more scary horror movies or like the Freddy versus Jason versus stuff like that?
All
Or
right.
thrillers or anything
All
like
right.
that?
Well, my just to put this one out there for my favorite, this will answer your question, horror movies are the Saw movies.
Oh,
the gore?
The gore porn?
Gore and cheesy over-the-top stuff.
Is that scary more so than... Is there, like, a difference, do you think, with you... I'm just asking a question to everybody.
Psychological thriller.
Yeah.
I think.
The body horror type of stuff.
Yeah.
And the
first one was phenomenal.
The first one was great.
And the third one was really good.
The third one was...
What's the one with Danny Glover? Not Danny Glover.
First one.
Is it Danny Glover? Okay,
Yes.
cool. That's right.
Yes, the first one, because he gets his throat cut. But he doesn't die.
Danny Glover. There was only 2 people in the first one. And it was Carrie Elways and the kid. The Hispanic guy.
Oh, Saw, the movie, the main movie Saw was also based off a short film.
Yeah.
The short film only has 2 people in it. But the expanded one that came out in theaters has a whole fucking big-ass cast
There's
and stuff. But the main story is the 2 people in the bathroom and stuff. But yeah, there's a whole police investigation and stuff.
Remember, there is a police investigation in Saw.
Yeah, and that's part 2.
No, it's part 1 too.
And this part 3 takes up on it.
Part 1 has...
2 people.
Part
I'm
one
going to Google it. I'm Googling.
Part 1 is in the bath. I've watched these movies plenty. Part 1 takes place mostly in the bathroom. There is a police investigation because at the end of the movie...
Danny Glover was in the first one. I was just shocked to see James Wan was also the director of this movie.
he directed like the first 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. And he produced a couple of them too.
And 2, they end up in the house that's basically above the bathroom that they're locked in.
3 starts with the metal cage, and she's got to dig the key out, and that's how she gets attached to him.
Yeah, it wasn't 3 like the reverse of it where they were talking about like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It introduces her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. 3 goes, hey, by the way, Amanda was part of the plot the entire time.
Right. Because I think that was actually the first Saw I actually saw.
Yeah, because he had done it before. She was like one of the first.
Yeah.
And
so with the newer one that came out, what the fuck happened on that one?
The
Jigsaw?
It was a Jigsaw?
Yeah,
Is it a
Jigsaw.
prequel?
Yeah, it's basically a prequel / renewal for the series. They're trying to get a renewal for the series. They give Jigsaw's original apprentice.
Oh.
They literally
Jigsaw dies.
Yeah, they show his first game, his first big game, and a guy recreates the deaths that happen to other people.
Gotcha.
I never got into I like those movies. They're okay. But it's always been the paranormal-based movies that are scarier to me. Yeah. I think it's because you can't... there's something scary about the fact that human nature can... these are what can be created from humans doing that. But I think paranormal movies generally have something creepier effect because it's something you can't control.
Exactly. You can't stop it. Well, you can stop it, but only with help with the priest or the
Insidious
expert.
Is a good example of that.
That movie's
because
scary as fuck.
There was never any good outcome to any person in those movies.
I liked Insidious because it goes backwards, so you start knowing how it's going to end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes back through the movies, and your favorite character, the main lady, you're like, well, we know what happens to you, and it's not pretty. So it's kind of bittersweet to watch those movies. And then the last movies go into after that happens to her, what happens.
And the scariest thing for those movies wasn't even the main stuff, it was stuff in the fucking background, the boy dancing and shit.
Yeah.
There's a ton of weird shit in the background.
Oh, she's walking down the halls and stuff.
Yeah,
looking at the doors.
Fuck that. Yeah. Nope, I'm good.
That creeps
Little kids
me
are scary.
out so much. I hate seeing stuff in the background, and it's nobody else notices it, and you might not notice it, but on your second or third watching, you see it, you're like, oh, am I crazy? Because I think I'm crazy now too.
Oh yeah, I love watching movies. Oh, stuff on YouTube, things you may have missed, and they'll point out, and I'll go back and I'll watch it. I'm like, well, that's cool.
There's
I liked
a face there.
Annabelle, the way it started with one of the Charles Manson murders.
Yeah.
The little girl who owned the Annabelle doll. Mm-hmm. And you're like, man, this shit really ties in together. And Annabelle, for those of you who don't know, was originally a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's based on a real doll that exists. The whole Conjuring series is based on actual events that have happened around the world. So it's about the Warrens, who were famous psychics. So if you ever heard their name, they were the ones who... we're famous for the whole Amityville horror thing. And
you can go watch, it's on YouTube, an old Sally Jesse Raphael show where they go on with the family and with their neighbors and just see how shitty people are.
So on a tangent of that, there's actually a documentary called My Amityville Horror, which is a documentary about, it's from the perspective of the oldest son in that family.
Oh.
And it's super depressing because, apparently the adoptive dad was, super fucking abusive and shit.
Shit.
You could kind of tell from their stories, though, that he was.
Yeah, very controlling. But
Yeah.
it's on Amazon Prime for, $2.
Well, yeah, they like. I think they made the argument that all of the stuff that happened in that house was based on like possession and stuff like that. But if you like kind of get into it, you can kind of see that even if it wasn't possession, there was some kind of stressor going on, and that is the reaction of people who have deeply psychological issues, especially abusive people.
I think
but that's what they also the Conjuring 3, I think it was it the Conjuring 3? It might be. It was the last one that came out in the Conjuring series that was based on. Was it? I was talking about the British kids.
Yeah, it's the second one.
Is it the second
Third
one?
one hasn't come out yet. Third one's in production.
That's right. So it's the second
third
one.
is the Nun, which was
the Nun. Yeah, that's right.
The prequel one, yeah.
So that one is actually the one that I found the most interesting because everybody kind of has debunked Amityville Horror at this point, but that one is still one of the ones that people are still trying to debunk. Is that British child? If she had faked it, if her whole family had faked it, because they were in like dire straits for financial assistance, and it became the most famous haunting of England, essentially.
Yeah, the Enfield haunting. Yeah, the Raggedy Man's fucking terrifying. Fuck him.
yeah.
Keep that asshole away from me. Your hat has holes for eyes. Fuck off. That is so bad for fashion.
I mean, the fact that you can go see Annabelle in a museum is like creepy in itself, but like I don't know if I would ever want to be one of those people who are like, it sounds really fucking cool. I might go see this really fucking haunted.
Oh, I would.
I know.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Possessed doll and go see what happens.
Hell yes.
So it's great. Well, two things about Annabelle. So what's great is apparently you talk shit to her face, like in front of the glass. Fucked up shit happens to you.
Yeah, like Zach Bagans did.
Yes.
And you
What
know
happened?
He talked shit in front of the Annabelle doll, and he started getting all kind of twitchy.
He wanted to touch her, and they were like, "Don't touch the doll," and he did it anyway.
Yeah, because he's
so
super
they shut
extreme.
him down. They shut filming down. Like, we told you not to touch the doll.
And then also, my mom has a real big Raggedy Ann doll in our basement next to all the other dolls. So it makes me feel real good at night when I'm watching TV and shit. I look over, things just there. I'm like, I fucking hate my life, Christ. I hate smoke and drink.
For the longest time when I was a child, I hated just any kind of doll. It didn't matter what, because I watched a Chucky movie.
Oh, yeah, Chucky's great.
I now love Chucky movies.
Chucky's all... You see, not the latest one, but the one before that, like the after credits scene where it's like, it's Andy.
Yes.
And he fucking just... shotgun. It's so perfect. I was so happy with that shit.
You've seen Cult of Chucky, right?
Not the newest one, no.
Yeah, Cult of Chucky's good.
Is Andy in it?
Yeah.
Oh, dope. That's all I care about.
Bride of Chucky
he's
is
in it.
probably my favorite.
Oh, Bride of Chucky is a comedy.
Seed of Chucky's great because like
Seed of Chucky is just as comedic.
You have to make those like once you get past number 1 and you start to run out. Like that's the reason why Halloween is having to like redact itself all the way to the fucking beginning, and the sequel has to be named after the first one because it starts to become a comedic thing at this point. Like you can only do so many things.
I mean, Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 were awesome, and then you hit Bride of Chucky.
Bride of Chucky was funny.
Oh no, it was
Yeah.
like I said, it was a comedy. It was a comedy with gore, and then you hit Seed of Chucky, which was the same thing.
That is so.
She was Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly.
She was Jennifer Tilly. She turned herself into a doll,
and then came back and possessed herself as Jennifer Tilly. It's kind of weird to think about Chucky because you do have a real life murder doll like Annabelle. It's kind of weird to think about that kind of does exist.
In the Twilight Zone, the original series back in the 50s or 60s, whatever, they actually had an episode where it was like little Tina. She was like a killer doll and stuff. Because like the stepdad was an asshole, and the doll wanted to protect the little girl, and the little doll wanted to kill the stepdad.
They say, they do say that it's not just always houses that always get haunted. It's the objects that can possibly be haunted and what people tend to treasure in their lifetime. So it's not too far to believe that if you get murdered by your family member, you're like, I'm gonna come back and get you, bitches, or something like that. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying, my bed's gonna be haunted? Gotcha.
Oh my god.
The best thing about Curse of Chucky is at the end of it, literally everybody's dead except a little girl, and essentially his daughter, but not his daughter. She gets put into a mental health institution, and that's where Cult of Chucky picks up.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah. She gets put in a mental health institution. The little girl gets to go live with her grandmother. The Chucky doll gets sent to the little girl, and he's able to do his body swap. So now he's in the body of a little girl.
Oh my god. I want to just hit on The Nun. I don't know. Bobby, have you seen The Nun yet?
I know it happens.
It's like, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was as scary as the other Conjuring movies.
It was a good story.
It was a slow burn as well. But I just wanted to hit on that. But going back to like Chucky and Halloween, like I don't know, with the remakes coming out, like there's been It's come out in the last year or so, and then now we got Halloween and all of these. Like, I mean, is it essential at this point to come back out with some of these movies? Do you think?
I honestly think it is, because you've got new effects, you've got new actors that can portray different roles. There's a lot of new technology that you didn't have back then that's going to make things easier to make better movies, possibly.
Yeah, and I don't mind it. I'm not really a super big fan of the remakes, but like if it's a sequel that actually does something new with the story, that's not just a cash grab. I'm like, dope, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was fine with because I actually don't like the Tim Curry version. I like Tim Curry himself as It, but most of the people fucking suck. Those are all TV class actors and shit. Come on, man.
I think me and Angie were like, I didn't know if they were going to do the one scene that Stephen King, like, everybody gives him shit for. Like, why? But I'm glad they didn't. But did you like the new It? Did you think it was better than the original?
Yes, much better.
Yes.
I think it was scarier.
There was only one scene in the original It that I thought had the fear, is when the guy was bullying him, and it kind of became more of a homosexual nature.
Yeah.
And then you look across the field, and Tim Curry's just standing there across the field, and a truly scary, iconic moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're coming out with a new Chucky. I know that the new Halloween's coming out, which I'm excited for. I didn't like, and Scoob will argue with me until the day he dies about this, I didn't really like the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween.
I don't think a lot of people did like it.
Yeah.
But your Rob Zombie fans are going to be like,
Rob Zombie. Yeah, it's Rob Zombie. He made a great movie, blah, blah. But it's like, it didn't... Did you like the one?
It was okay.
It was okay, yeah.
It wasn't...
I like some ideas in them.
It was all right.
It was, yeah.
It
wasn't... Yeah.
The second one, though, fuck that movie.
I didn't watch the second one just because I didn't like the first one.
Michael turns into a hobo. He gets a real dirty jacket and puts it over his head and looks real depressed the entire movie.
Scoob here would argue with me, but the reason why he said he liked that one, he liked the Rob Zombie version better than the original, was because it humanized why Michael Myers became how he is.
But Michael's not supposed to be human. That's the whole point of the original shit.
That was my point.
Like he's not human,
That's what made him scary.
Yeah.
Like, he had no reason. There was no rhyme or reason to why he did what he did. It was just, he just decided he was going to go murder some people.
That's what made the thriller, I think, A Perfect Son, or the old movie.
Was that Macaulay Culkin?
With Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. With Elijah Wood.
What made it scary is he was a perfect kid and just was evil.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Death Note.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You kind of like, I mean, there's no you justified
but
in your...
Scoob also liked the Death Note remake.
Jesus Christ, I'm going to hit him.
I'm sorry, that is,
no,
that is
ruined it.
That is a horror movie right there.
Yeah.
That is a horror of a movie.
Well, though, William Dafoe is pretty good as Riku.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe always has to.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I thought he was fine.
No. He was for about the first 10 minutes. And then when he first showed up, yeah, cool. And the laugh, perfect, awesome. After that,
But was he just a slave to the fact that he had a shitty story?
Yes.
That probably would have made a bigger difference.
He has the perfect voice for it. Like, he had the perfect voice.
He had the perfect voice, the perfect face, and everything for the motion capture of
perfect dick.
But...
Oh, no, that one movie, that thriller with him in the cabin with his wife, is that the movie you're referring to?
No, we're talking about Death Note.
No, Willem Dafoe, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's got an enormous penis.
Does he? Oh,
yeah.
Antichrist. Yep.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, he has a big cock.
Okay.
You know, I hate those movies that are about the Antichrist.
No, it wasn't really about the Antichrist.
Oh.
No. It's real fucked up. Yeah. It's real good, though.
He and his wife lost a child, so in order to try and reconnect, they go to a cabin that his family owns, like, way in the woods. And they both just have lost their minds.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
It's not, the movie ends and you're like, were they haunted? Were they just
You want to see a guy get chased down by a bunch of naked women with no face? That's the movie you want to see.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
And then his wife, like, splits his penis with, like...
Holy shit!
Yeah, I told you it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Willen's like, okay, I gotta go watch this now.
No, I'm good.
He has an enormous penis.
He's just getting a piercing. His wife's just trying to pierce. She fucks up one time.
She just pierces the entire thing.
Yeah, it's studs.
You know in Misery where she hammers this angle to the wood?
You want to see that the penis?
I'm can we stop talking about
penis? How about we watch Teeth instead? Let's watch Teeth.
Okay,
I'll watch that movie. That was a great movie.
Yeah, from your fucking perspective, it hurts us.
Right? You're like, man.
How stupid was the one guy when she's like, I can have sex, enjoy it, not, my vagina kills someone. And then he, like, I won the bet.
Yeah, like, I've triumphed over it. Oh, no. You're an idiot.
Why don't you stick it in her butt? She can't get pregnant, and your dick won't get bitten off. Unless, like, there's, like, something in her anus.
There probably is.
It's probably, like, a gun. It just pops out. Like, Like, this isn't Jesus' way.
The poop hole
Blows him.
loophole.
The poop hole loophole.
God bless it.
Okay, I had two things. And one thing, it's funny enough that the most recent movie this one's been kind of contested about being a scary movie, but
Hereditary.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that movie's fucked up.
That movie was
is
fucked up. It's 7 Ways to Sunday.
I love cults. Like, I mean, yeah, cults terrify me in
Yes.
general, but like, I love horror movies about cults. It's
They
fucking
did that
great.
movie. They did everybody so dirty in that movie because Moreland, are you gonna watch Hereditary? I need to know.
Yeah, he
I'll watch
needs
it with
to.
you. We
I
can
need to, but apparently
it's on Xbox
But
Video and
apparently
stuff
what?
like.
Huh?
But apparently
Because
what?
I was gonna spoil some stuff, and I don't want to spoil stuff.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The fact that
I'm probably the one person that doesn't give a shit about spoilers.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it and form my own opinion, anyways,
okay, so
whether I know what's gonna happen or not.
spoiler. Did anybody else think that this little girl was gonna be and she was the antagonist of the movie, but not in the way that she turned out to be the antagonist?
Oh, no, I didn't expect her to die. No.
No.
you knew she was a bad guy. Of
Yeah.
course she was.
Yeah,
But then when she died, I was like, I don't know where this is going now.
yeah. She just. I think it was a good metaphor for all of the grief they were going through because you see like the different modes of grief for this mom because she's grieving her mom in like not the best way because she doesn't care, and then she loses her kid, and then she's grieving her relationship with her son. But it was just a little intense. Hard getting
And I
her.
don't know how you can come back from the relationship with her son. So what happens, Moreland, is he wants to go to a party. And she says, we'll take your sister. I think the little girl's 13. He's probably 16.
Doesn't need to be going, but okay.
Well, neither of them needed
Yeah.
to go. But he played it off as like a...
Like a study date.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she had no concept of what the party really was.
Right.
Well, they get there, and it's a party, but they're serving food and stuff. And the girl he likes is smoking pot, takes him in the back. And he's like, the little girl only eats sweets, and she's evil. So he's like, why don't you go get
Does
a piece
that mean
of cake?
I'm evil?
Yes,
no,
Moreland.
like
Okay.
up to this, you've seen her like she's like taking birds and like poking
Cutting her
them.
head off
Yeah,
and, like-
weird
Okay.
shit. Just some
Doing
weird
weird
shit.
stuff.
Okay. Not just because she eats sweets.
And she's
evil.
being
Yeah.
watched like so. If you've seen Damien, the Omen movies,
Yes.
and how the cult watches him, there's
Yes.
these group of people who just watch her
Oh.
and make eye contact and smile and do the weird waving. So you're like, oh yeah, she's Damien.
Essentially.
But so she goes to eat cake, but they used a knife they had just chopped peanuts up with to cut the cake. So she starts having a reaction.
Because she's allergic to peanuts.
Gotcha.
Her brother, they're way out in like New Mexico desert. He's trying to drive, to a hospital. It's way away. She's literally she's about to die in the back seat.
She's going into anaphylactic
Her
shock.
throat's closed up. She's desperate to get air. She rolls the window down, sticks her head out, light pole.
I remember hearing about this movie
Knocks
now.
her head off.
Yeah,
Yes,
it got
I remember
cra-
hearing-
Well,
critical,
he never
praise,
turns around to look.
praise.
He slowly drives home, parks the van, goes up to his room, and he just stares all night. Well, the mom goes down to get the van in the morning and headless body.
And then it just cuts to her head, and you don't expect it because
Yeah,
you
her
never see
head's
the
like-
head.
Nothing to lose your mind over.
Oh God.
When
Sorry.
did Scoob get here?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's comedy.
Whoa. But yeah, so it's like, how do you recover a relationship? And he didn't apologize.
Fuck no.
He acted like he was, and I'm sure
He was victimized.
traumatized.
Yeah.
That kid's the devil. Fuck them. Mom should have been damn happy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess she had no idea, and they didn't know until like the 10 minutes before the movie ends that her mother was the head of a cult that was
like,
worshiping this demon.
Married to Satan, head of a cult. And
And-
they were bringing back one of the apocalyptic lords.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot to this movie, so keep a lookout because they hint to what happens at the end. Like, just keep a lookout and listen to it.
Like
really,
the people waving, and you can see the people. I'm like, Becky, is that It Follows? Like, I look for It Follows in everything. I'm like, look, It Follows is in this movie.
There's one coming out on Netflix I'm excited about. It's called Apostle. It's going to star, more than likes this guy, Dan Stevens from Legion.
Yes.
It's based off a short film that came out a few years ago, but it's about a man that travels to a remote island to search for his missing sister after she's been kidnapped by a cult.
oh, that sounds good.
I'm excited because it's a Netflix original and it comes out like
And
October.
there's this movie coming out that Becky and I want to see. We saw it advertised in the theater. It's this blind guy, and he's been kidnapped, and he's in the trunk of a car. Well, they park beside the woods, and somebody rescues him, but he can't see that it's an Oni. Like, she's like a horrific.
She haunts these woods, and she's
Oh.
like trying
and
to help
she
him.
tells him stories. These woods are haunted by this girl that was murdered here, and she, you know, horrifically tears apart anybody she sees, blah, blah, blah. But he can't see that it's her.
And she turns around and her, like, she has black eyes. Her mouth is just fangs and all
and
of
she's
it.
an Oni. She tells me she's like an Oni.
But she's super nice to him, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's like
well,
she...
we don't know what she's
Yeah,
gonna
we
do.
don't know.
Can they just fuck? That'd be hilarious.
I don't know what's
Jesus.
going to happen. That's all it shows.
He's not involved.
Is, all it
You're
shows is
probably
her
right.
leading him through the woods and telling him the story.
What's it called?
I think it's like, it's
Into
called
the
The
Forest.
Woods or Into the Woods or something. I can't find it anywhere because it was like a super indie horror movie that premiered at like
Advertised
Sundance.
one time, and
It was on Reddit. It was just like one time they talked about it, and I'm like,
now
I
we
can't
can't
find
find
it. But you know what? Netflix does really good horror. He did Gerald's Game, and Gerald's Game was all kinds of fucked up too. If
That
you ever
book's
read the story,
Yeah, the book's fucked up.
the book was so good. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite.
No, it's
Stephen
good.
King
It's just
books.
fucked. It's
Do you know
good.
what movie I would like to see them make? And I can't remember. It's this girl who is hiking with her parents.
The girl who loved Tom Gordon.
Yes, that's it.
Oh my
was-
God,
Bobby.
Bobby.
Bobby is right.
I've read a Stephen King book
Okay.
in middle school.
Oh,
Okay, so-
man, me
Damn.
too. Isn't that one of the best books?
It's real fucked up. I would hope they do like a. I think it
Wouldn't
didn't have to
that
be a
be a-
movie. It could be like a miniseries.
Yeah.
Well,
It
aren't
could
they
be
doing
an-
Castle Rock right now, which is Stephen King, like short
Yeah, but
stories?
it's not
Yeah.
a book.
So-
he's writing them for the series.
Yes,
Okay.
Castle Rock. It takes place in the town of Castle Rock, but like each season's a different story. Like it's all
Yeah.
one story.
Oh,
season
okay.
one.
Which I can't wait for this. Although some of his series haven't turned out so well.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
I'm still gonna watch it though.
here's my
It's great.
question. This
I've
is like
watched
the
a couple
age-old
episodes.
question of things that I debate with people all the time. What was scarier, The Shining, the book, The Shining, the movie? Because I think the book was scarier than the movie.
Jack Nicholson's a terrifying human being. He just gets drunk and belligerent. That's terrifying to me. Because I'm a happy drunk.
It was,
The movie didn't scare me.
the movie wasn't that bad, but I didn't read the book either. So
Yeah, the movie I thought was scary, but the scariest part in the book where they're in the hedges
Yep.
and he's lost in the
Yes.
labyrinth. I don't know if they could just do this. Weren't they supposed to make a remake?
They
of
did
this?
it in the 90s.
They
the
did
remake.
do
That was
They
bad.
did like a TV
Yeah,
movie of
it was
it.
90s.
But what they're doing is they're now doing the sequel for Doctor Sleep, which is the new one. And I think Ewan McGregor's starring
Yeah.
as Danny.
Yep.
Okay.
He's
Oh,
pretty.
that'll be good.
Yeah, that's gonna be real
He'll
good.
do
I have a thing for Ewan McGregor. He's good. Obi-Wan.
He'll make
Save me,
he'll
Obi-Wan.
make
You're
a
my
good
only
Danny.
hope.
He'll make a good drunk Danny.
Yes.
Oh,
He
please.
will. Yeah.
Oh, a movie that I watched that I didn't think would be super scary, but was kind of little intense. Don't Breathe.
Yeah, with the blind
Oh
dude.
yeah.
But the movie made no sense.
The movie made
You
very little sense.
Yeah, if you snore at night, you're dead.
It turned a turkey baster into a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of A Quiet Place, Angie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You Don't Breathe is different.
That was a deaf
Which one was
asshole.
Don't Breathe?
Blind asshole.
The people go to steal
Oh
his.
my god, that was so good.
Yeah, people go to steal his fortune,
And she
and-
like jabbed his own jizz in his eye or something, made him drink it.
Yeah, jammed it down his throat.
Oh,
Oh, that guy. The one there was
Yes.
a little hair in his.
Yes.
It just all it does is taste like a warm milkshake.
I didn't
I
want to know
don't
that.
No, we didn't
Bobby.
even know that, Bobby.
Anyways.
That movie. Oh, that was actually the one we saw after Blair Witch. Remember we were talking about
We
it
said we
yesterday?
saw a double
We
feature.
saw a double feature. We saw Blair Witch and Don't
do not
Breathe.
see the Blair Witch.
I saw it. It wasn't terrible.
Blair Witch Project, like, it set its bar too high, I think.
The first one's fine. The Book of Shadows, the one that came like in 2000, real bad. The sequel wasn't terrible. I mean,
But they, like, super troped it up. Like,
yeah.
and I get why. It's like Blair Witch was a novelty of its time because you didn't know whether it was true or not.
Well, and it didn't really show you anything. That's
Yeah.
what made it scary. You heard it.
Yeah.
You heard the kids laugh at night, the rock stone, but didn't show anything.
You-
This one went over the top to show you stuff.
Did you hear about the theory that in the original Blair Witch Project, it's not even the Blair Witch isn't even a thing. It's just the guys trying to murder her.
No.
Yeah, you need to look up that. It's like all the stuff that happens can be easily explained, like with them setting it up, like at night when the one guy goes missing, he's the one throwing the rocks and do all the shitty stuff. And like when they run into the house at the end, he runs like they split up, and the one guy's waiting. The one guy's staring at the corner, and the other guy's behind her, and then kills her.
See, this
Like-
is when I think a movie's good. Is when you can develop like.
Yeah,
fan
I'll
theories
send y'all. There's a
about it.
YouTube video about it. It's super
Yeah.
That
legit.
is
I'd love
actually
to
a
watch it.
good
It's real
idea.
good.
That's actually a really good theory because
can
you
watch it
never,
when we get done.
yeah,
It's fine.
You never
Yeah.
can explain.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they don't. You assume it is the witch because it's the hauntings and stuff, but it's never something that couldn't be explained by just people fucking with
And
other
it was
people.
the
Right.
sound guy who disappeared, so he would know how to make kid noises all around her.
And throw rocks and make
Oh,
crosses and
man.
people in trees. Yeah.
Shit. And they
Yeah.
were probably
That's
just
good.
pissed the fuck off at her because she had lost the map.
Yep.
She did not lose the map.
Oh,
they threw it in the, that's what the thing is. That's one of the other clues about them just being murdered. So because they know where they're going. She doesn't.
Oh, oh! I feel like I'm having
So you know what's super fucked up? The Blair Witch gets the honor of being considered the first found footage movie. It's not. The movie came out like a year before that called The Last Broadcast, and it's certainly the first found footage genre movie. Oh. It's about this crew that goes to the Pine Barrens, New Jersey, looking for the Jersey Devil. And movie gets the footage gets pieced together at the end because like one of them gets murdered, and it shows at the end, spoilers, that it's one of the guys in the crew that did it. But it's really good, and that was the first movie also to be broadcast by satellite to movie theaters.
Oh, that's
cool. Actually really cool. Yeah, found footage, I think
like paranormal.
The Paranormal Activity movies were kind of revitalized the
which were
found
good
footage
until the last one, and then you're
the thing is, you can make you know what the first Paranormal TV was made for? Like $56,000. You know what made the fucking theaters? Like over $100 million.
Yeah.
Highest grossing.
It was a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was terrifying. Fuck that shit at the end.
Drag him out of the fucking stairs. Fuck that noise.
God.
That's why I don't sleep with women, only men. They won't betray.
Spoiler alert, Bobby is also not gay.
He's a very good cuddler, though.
So are you. That fucking beard.
He also doesn't snore if he's on his side. But don't let that man roll on his back.
Yeah.
I snore where
Bobby, roll over. Oh, sorry. Like, he doesn't even wake up. My bad, sorry.
My bad.
And then he's just so quiet.
I'm like a little baby.
You gotta, burp him, get him ready for bed, make sure he's swaddled, let's go.
I snore whether I'm on my backside, stomach, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have something in your mouth.
Okay. So moving on to another genre, the super gore.
Not sleeping
super
with
gore?
Bobby.
Yes, and I'm talking Cannibal Holocaust.
Human centipede?
I'm talking that. No, that's. I'm talking about Cannibal Holocaust.
Hey, you watched Raw?
No, I haven't.
It's on Netflix or Hulu, one of the two. It's about this girl that's joins this vegan shit at her college, and the initiation is that they eat raw meat, and it turns into a cannibal. It's real fucking good. It's made by a French filmmaker. It's super fucked. It's really good though.
So, speaking of super, you want to go super gory or super?
Well, the goriest movie I think ever made was Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
To the point that they had to go back and take it out of theaters and edit it.
Oh, Jesus.
They're not sure that half of it wasn't real.
Yeah, they had to they were being charged in foreign countries for murder and shit. They had to go back and prove that these people didn't die their lives.
And they couldn't prove it.
Yeah.
They couldn't prove it. They went to this remote village, and I don't remember what South American country they were in, and who really had limited contact with people, but who were cannibals. They were a cannibal tribe. And then they also got charged a lot with animal cruelty because they ate animals alive, and the cast didn't know what they were gonna do, so they weren't given scripts and stuff beforehand of what would happen. And then one of the people in the cast was they honest to God raped me. And we realized we were eating actual people.
Oh,
and there's
fun.
still such a huge controversy about this movie.
They really ate people?
That's what they're thinking, yeah. Because the director, and he, I don't think he directed after that. He was.
I would not be surprised. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Was his name George Donner? Was that should have been your number one hit right there. Hey.
Probably, Christ.
I don't like super gory movies.
I like super gore when it's funny, like Evil Dead 2. Yeah, that shit's hilarious.
Yeah, Evil Dead is pretty.
Do you ever seen Dead Alive, or also known as Brain Dead? Peter Jackson directed it in the 90s.
I have not.
You ever seen that scene online where it's the guy literally holding the lawnmower, running around mowing down his
Yes.
It's from that movie. It's from that movie.
Okay, I have.
The movie's super hilarious.
I can half remember the names of movies.
When you go on YouTube and look up Kung Fu Priest, it's from that movie, and it's great.
What?
He literally says, "I kick ass for the Lord," and it's fucking hilarious.
I really did think the Human Centipede was considered super gore, but was it not?
Well, I mean, I'm into scat, so it's kind of just a turn on for me, the whole movie.
I don't know if they would be, gore. They weren't really thriller or horror, unless.
It's fucked. We can all agree with that.
And the second one's kind of funny.
There needs a genre called just super.
You seen the third one?
Oh, there is. And
super fucky?
Yeah, it's just called super fucky. It's called any Human Centipede variant. Have you seen Tusk?
No.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so it's directed by Kevin Smith.
Okay, so I'm going in with the expectation it should be funny.
A little bit.
kind of can be. It has Justin Long in it.
Okay.
He plays the main guy.
The kid from Sixth Sense too.
It has Haley Joel Osment in it.
Fat Haley Joel Osment.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh, I've heard of this. Oh.
A guy goes to Canada. Justin Long goes to Canada for his podcast to pretty much make fun of a kid that cut his own leg off with a samurai sword. He gets there to figure out that the kid has killed himself.
Oh.
So he has lost his story. So he goes to a bar and he's drinking and he's about to go home. So he goes to take a piss and he sees a letter that's on the bathroom stall.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, I've got a room for rent. You don't have to actually pay anything. I'm disabled, so if you just do some household chores, I've got a bunch of stories I can tell you. I've been an adventurer all my life, yada 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 yada. So he calls the guy and sets up a meeting with him and goes there that night.
Mm-hmm.
He gets there, talks to him for a little bit, and he's drinking tea ridiculously, crap ton of tea. Because apparently it's really good.
I'm drinking tea, so I need you to okay.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of weird stuff around his house.
Oh, God.
There's a fossilized walrus penis.
Okay.
At one point that he picks up and holds and does weird things with. Well, he eventually passes out from drinking
the tea. Because it's roofied, basically.
Yeah. And he wakes up in a wheelchair, and he basically doesn't know where he's at. And the guy rolls over to him in his wheelchair. He's like, you got bit by a spider. Unfortunately, the doctor didn't get here in time to save your leg, so he had to cut off your leg. And he looks down, and he has one leg.
Yeah.
The guy cut his other leg off. Earlier, you'd seen the guy polishing what looked like a tusk.
Yeah.
It was his shin bone.
Oh my God.
That he filed into a tusk.
Okay, so here's my thing. I get all this. Why are you traveling anywhere on a podcast? You know you can just broadcast that from the comfort of your home, right?
Well, no, see.
He wanted to go get the actual interview from the kid.
You know what? That's what Skype is for.
Right?
Skype exists for that reason.
But that movie is just it's messed up.
But you know what? We actually, on a random note, I just thought about this. We had a talk yesterday about this. What movies were scarier? Japanese horror movies or American horror movies? Or the remakes?
Japanese horror movies.
Yeah, Ju-on was much, I think, scarier than The Grudge.
Yeah. An Audition. Mm-hmm. That's one of the most iconic horror movies there is.
All the razor
Battle
wire.
Royale versus Hunger Games.
Yeah. Battle Royale was.
Oh yes.
I would love. You know what? Just on a random note, though, on top of that, I think the scarier shows are the anime and manga that are Japanese horror. I bought Angie Abitsu yesterday. It is one of the most terrifying stories, and another's one of the really.
Have you
good
read
ones.
Spiral?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the one who did the Juno Ito that we were talking about.
Oh, he did another one.
Yeah, he's fucked.
What was the book? Splinter?
Yeah.
He's fucked. I won't read his stuff anymore.
It was something like that, but it's Shiver, but it's an anthology of his
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah, the one. You seen the one where you read the one where the people go to that mountain on the side and there's the people-sized holes?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, read it.
Marlon, what'd you do that for?
I didn't do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
You put up Kitty Cat's house.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have a kitty cat though.
Yeah, it's these people that they find these human-sized holes that they're shaped literally as a human on the side of the mountain, and each person finds the hole that perfectly fits them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's the cover.
Super fucked. Super fucked. The ending.
What?
It's a horror manga. It's about people that find this mountain that it's just been discovered that these human-sized holes. They're shaped perfectly like humans. And each person finds their own hole, and they're drawn to go inside the hole, and once they go in, they can't get out. You just slowly slide and slide. At the end, there's a crew. They find the other side of the mountain, other side of the holes, and they look fucked. They look mangled and disgusting. They're still alive too, by the way. They're super
It's
fucked.
kind of reminds me of, in a weird way, of The Descent, which was one of the first movies that ever scared the shit out of me was The Descent. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you've still seen it yet.
No, I can't find it.
It's really hard to find.
Really? Is that hard to find? I think
It's really hard.
Really
No,
hard to
it's
find.
not on there.
Oh wow.
It was so scary, but I think going back to the manga stuff, I think if you're going to if you want to get real scared and movies aren't doing it for you, read like horror manga. Because not only are there pictures, but let me tell you something. They got some really fucked up shit.
Yeah,
Japanese people are really fucked up.
Have you guys watched Shiki?
Mm-mm.
It's a vampire anime that's real good. It's on Hulu. It's real it's super
I'll check
scary.
it out.
It's like 24 episodes. It's really good. Really sad, too.
We watched another, which was on Hulu, which was really good. It's like
really good.
Final Destination.
Yeah, I couldn't get over the little girl. She made me uncomfortable. In more than one way.
Yeah, well, that's why it was awesome.
Yeah, sexually uncomfortable. I was confused.
Well, just so you know, Abitsu is so good. Like, Abitsu is about it's a ghost that appears as a gothic Lolita, and she'll ask you whether you're her brother or not, and depending on your answer, you're still fucked.
So you don't want to answer. You need to answer, but you can't answer.
It's kind of like the
yes
slit mouth
no.
woman.
If you say yes or no, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So if the answer is yes, she'll come kill your sister to be your sister.
Okay.
If you say no, she comes kills you.
Wait, what if I don't have a sister?
You just make up an answer like, what exactly is a brother, and just walk away.
Mine was like, my answer was gonna be, your ass looks like a potato in those pants or something like that. And she's
just gonna kill you. And
she's like, she's not wearing pants though.
She's not. Ooh, I need to read this.
Guys, I feel we have to talk about the horror movie, Exorcist.
No.
Oh.
Yes.
You mean the movie that ruined the pea soup business?
Right.
I still eat pea soup, but every time I eat it, I'm like, she like every time. Yes. Yes.
Exorcist.
My mom saw this when it came out in theaters, and she lived in New York at the time. And my grandfather had to go pick up my grandma because she was a nurse. She worked the night shift. So like at 3 a.m. when he'd go pick her up, my mom had to go with them for 2 weeks straight because she was so fucking scared.
Yeah.
My parents saw it in theater too. I think it came out just around the time Star Wars came out, and my dad tricked her into going to see it. Like, 'cause she was like, well, we're gonna go see Star Wars, and then they'd already seen it because Mom really actually liked Star Wars, and they ended up going to see The Exorcist, and she's like, I almost divorced her father before we were married.
Well, my mom and stepdad used to go out like on the weekends, so my sister is coming on TV. I think I was 3 or 4. And they were like, oh, Angie, let's go watch TV, which was a forbidden thing to do, especially at that late at night.
Right.
So I go out there, and one sister holds me to the chair, and then they literally hold my eyes open and make me watch it.
I'm sorry, it sucks.
I was so scared. And then my oldest sister, Melissa, she crawled on the floor, because Michelle and I shared a bed. Michelle made me sleep on the edge, and then Melissa popped up with a demonic face. I think I peed the bed that night.
Nice.
And I just lay there in it, not getting up.
I pee in the bed all the time, but not from that.
If you used the bathroom before you passed out drunk, you'd stop peeing.
I wear an adult diaper, jackass. Thank you very much. It's got adult in the name.
He literally just said that he peed the bed every night.
Yeah, it leaks from the diaper.
That's disgusting.
No, it's fine. Geriatrics do all the time. Why can't I? I'm an adult. Sometimes.
I think I just got lucky seeing
adults?
The Exorcist as an older individual. If I had seen
it's still horrifying.
It didn't scare me as bad because we've seen so many scarier movies now.
Yeah, we're so desensitized.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I've seen so many scary movies in my lifetime.
Look at Angie, she's like, hell
that
no.
I'm like that. I go back to the classics. And I'm like, I love these classics. They're awesome. They're still kind of scary, but I see a new movie coming out, a new scary movie coming out, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
I think it's
to me,
because
The
they set it up.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Everything about that movie to me is terrifying.
To be fair, at least in my opinion, I watched Scary Movie 2 before I watched The Exorcist, and the Exorcist parody in the first 10 minutes kind of ruins The Exorcist for you.
Just a little bit.
Especially when the priest starts fucking the possessed girl, and it's hilarious. Oh my god. Not Woody Allen. He looks like Woody Allen.
I kind of wonder if I didn't develop some of my sexual kinks from watching Linda Blair fuck herself with a crucifix.
I need an adult.
Well, I mean, it's just
get one of your diapers because we're all adults.
When you're young and you see that and you're just like, being a young lesbian, you're like, oh, well, I mean, it is but scary and.
Right.
Well,
fuck her in the pussy.
Okay,
is that what that's from?
No, that's just a guy who appeared by a weather woman and was like. She's like, and how do you feel about the recent lootings? Well, I think they're wrong and fuck her right in the pussy. And he runs. That's a whole different...
Now, question.
No, she is like, whack me.
Oh.
Angie, how would you have felt if she took a cactus up there?
I don't
Should
know.
have still been turned on.
I may have decided I needed even more pain. I don't know.
Okay. Well, guys.
This is the end of the rotation. We're going home.
I might need an exorcism.
Please don't.
There-
It's overrated.
Was
I
there?
was saying,
Okay.
if anybody knows anybody about liking pain, it's me and Tasha. So
Don't start.
Y'all need to stop. I'm perverted, but you need Jesus. I'm pointing to both y'all.
Hey!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So,
I'm an atheist.
So, okay, so if
I'm kidding, I'm an atheist. You need Cthulhu.
He's got a lot of tentacles, and that's very popular in Japan.
yeah, it is.
which I'm kind of surprised they haven't done more Lovecraftian like horror movies.
There's a real good one that came in the 90s. It had Sam Neill in it, and I can't remember what it's called. I had to look it up real quick. It's actually they're actually
Is it
coming.
the one with the giant squid attacking like the bridge?
No.
Because that was scary too.
No, this,
Mothman prophecies, you mean?
no.
No. I'm
but the
just kidding.
Mothman prophecies is terrifying because
Really?
it's based on a real thing.
I don't know if like the scarier stuff is the fact that it's stuff that's based on real things, like Slender Man. Well, we didn't end up seeing
Yeah.
Slender Man.
The movie's called In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh,
It's really good. It's not amazing. There's some problems with it, but
There's problems.
do
with
you know
every
Sutter
movie.
Kane?
Who?
Watch the movie, you'll find out. It's a whole thing in the movie. The movie's pretty good.
What's it called again?
In the Mouth of Madness. Came out in '96. Same year for Jurassic Park's in it. It's pretty good.
I'm dead.
now that I think about it, didn't Exorcist and Jaws come out about the same time?
Jaws was like the first summer blockbuster, so probably that same year, a little later.
You know, a story is that there's a murder mystery called The Lady of the Dunes, and it's a person who was murdered right around the time that Jaws was being filmed. And Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's son, thinks that what it was is that if you watch Jaws, you can look in the background and see this woman wearing like a blue band, or it's like a yellow bandana, red shirt, and blue jeans. Well, this body was found with no hands, no feet, no head. And what she had next to her was a red shirt, blue jeans, and a yellow bandana. And it was right out the time they were shooting in Cape Cod, Jaws.
And the director says that there was no cast out there.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have been there. She wasn't part of their crew.
Right.
Yeah, so they don't know
Yeah.
if it was an extra, and they're trying to figure out if this was an extra, because they've never been able to identify who
Yeah.
it was.
And there's a No Sleep written about that, by the way.
Is it really?
If you like No Sleep, yeah. I couldn't tell you what episode or story, but I know No Sleep. Somebody wrote a story about it.
So.
No Sleep's fucked up. I used to read that stuff at work all the time, and I couldn't go home and sleep. It was fucking great.
Well, now they have a podcast, so you should
Oh,
listen to the podcast.
God.
Yeah, we listened to the podcast on the way home or on the way to Tennessee one year, and I'm like, I hate you guys.
Yeah, how long did you sleep that fucking weekend?
I slept like a baby.
We should have found the mountain people ones.
My favorite I just want to talk about
Story
this
corrector.
one No Sleep story. This is and I think one of my favorite stories of all time. There's this, it starts off it's narrated by this woman who is traveling with this guy, and you think they're just campers in the woods, but then you realize that they're ghosts who are stuck there because they died in the
that's
woods.
sad.
She got lost from her party, kind of like the girl who loved Tom Gordon,
Yeah.
and ended up dying from weather and dehydration, and he was murdered by his fiance, who he just proposed to.
Why'd she murder him? Christ, that's fucked up.
I'm not sure. He doesn't really know why. She just pushes him off the mountain and kills him.
What a bitch.
So he's ready to move on. He has no ill will, but she can't get over the fact that she's dead.
Yeah.
And so they go and visit like hikers, and they don't really try and scare them. They just like to be around people.
Yeah.
Well, something starts killing the people. This dark thing that really isn't interested in them, but they can sense it coming because their campfire, which is eternal, goes out. And he'll go by, and they realize that he's killing campers.
Did they stop it?
Yeah, she has to burn the forest down.
Aw.
Because the only thing that'll kill him, it's the spirit of the forest.
Oh, what an
So
asshole.
it's one of the
It's-
few things that's,
Princess Mononoke.
yeah, just
Yeah.
killing campers. Like, it's sick of
Damn
people.
Japanese.
So, but where it originates from is where her body is. So she has to go find herself.
Oh shit, that's
And deal with
sad.
the fact that she is dead and accept her own death.
You heard,
It's so good.
do her and the boy like kiss? The ghost kid?
Yeah, he decides to move on. She moves on into the afterlife.
With him?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, it
Bobby's
has a
like, I
good
see the
ending.
happy ending.
Bobby's like, I just want a
romance
happy
shit.
Just a happy ending.
I
She had-
know.
she had
That's
to
all I
burn
want.
the
I don't
beautiful
care. They
forest
could
down
they
there.
could just be free as long as they kiss. I don't care. They gotta kiss.
They didn't
Yeah.
kiss.
Bobby is
'Cause
like,
she realizes that he's waited for like 50 years with her, just waiting for her to accept her death,
Did they
so they can
bone?
go together.
Because they're dead. Get it?
oh my god.
And it would be, did they boon?
Oh, but the reason she has to find her boon, the reason she has to find her body is she remembered she had matches. So she had to get her matches to set the fire and kill the thing.
It's been 50 years. Did her matches really? Her matches work?
Well, it's a fucking story. Yeah. Let's slow down.
And they're not. And they were in a weatherproof box in her jacket where she died under a tree.
Yeah, so Moreland thinks you're being an asshole, try to fucking ruin the story and shit.
Yeah, you don't logic out a horror movie, especially one where you're just talking about one where a guy got, like, his legs cut off and, like, turned into a walrus.
Or a spirit got transformed into a doll.
At the end of the movie, it's a year later. His girlfriend and his best friend go to a wildlife preserve, and he's still in the walrus suit, acting like a walrus.
So guys,
he liked what he was.
He turned into the guy broke him and turned him into a walrus. At one point, he swims naked with him. It's
kind
weird.
of like in the Human Centipede.
Yes.
Like he breaks him.
Yep.
Well, on that note, I'm so glad we can end this episode.
It had to suck to be the girl in the middle.
Oh yeah,
because the guy in front cut his throat. The girl behind her died of malnutrition.
And she's literally dead bodies.
She's literally stuck in the middle.
And when he died, he shit all in her mouth. And he tried so hard not to crap. And he was like, I'm sorry. And he poops. Of course, it goes through her to the other girl. That's probably why she was so sick. Yeah. She didn't get any nutrients. She was just getting straight shit.
Yeah, exactly. No corn in the poop for her.
Yeah.
No, I think she probably still got corn.
God bless.
It just had no nutrients.
Right.
Just had no nutrients in it.
I'm so glad we could end an episode like this. Guys, I'm so proud.
Talking about people shitting in people's mouths.
Corn in the poop. That's the name of the episode.
Why did the
Corn
Bobby
in the
son...
poop.
Hey, Becky!
Yeah.
Where can they find us?
Not
you, Bobby.
Oh.
Becky.
It would actually be funny to see Bobby could do it.
Guys, wait. I have an at the moment magic question. Bobby.
Yeah, sure.
If a creature with vigilance is enchanted with Splinter Twin and attacks, can it use the Splinter Twin ability to tap itself and create a copy of itself that can also attack? I think the answer is no. Right?
I gotta see what Splinter Twin's text is, top of my head.
Okay.
You can find us on Facebook at The Free Rotation Podcast.
Hey, Becky.
You can find us on Facebook at The Free Rotation Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at The Free Rotation. You can find us on Instagram at The Free Rotation Podcast. You can find us on
Spotify.
YouTube at The Free Rotation. You can find us on Twitch at The Free Rotation. Guys, we're Twitch affiliates, so go subscribe to us. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you get one free Twitch subscription a month, and it's September, so if you gift subscriptions, people can resub for $1.
Okay, also... Last year, you guys may remember... I said you gays.
You gays.
You have a vagina on the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
I do.
Anyways.
In the mouth. No, I'm just...
Okay.
So, our lost Halloween episode. Remember?
Uh-huh.
You remember. Well, Bobby's going to do it with us again this year. Yeah, we're going to go back out to the same place. We have 2 GoPros now.
Do we know how to work
One's
them?
Yes.
essentially a cheap knockoff of a GoPro. Let's not get
and
crazy.
And by cheap, we mean still $100. So, it's not too cheap.
But guess what? Y'all don't know something. My hair is holy. So you have the protection of Jesus on your side.
But he's an atheist.
But you're an atheist.
Yeah, Jesus still loves everyone, though. And I got guns with holy water in them.
He can't love that hair.
Oh, baby. You seen him? He's got a mullet. He fucking loves my goddamn hair.
And you can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever. You can find us there. Go listen, like, subscribe, rate, review, do whatever. Just give us views.
And Libsyn, if you're looking to get into podcasting, just put out a fantastic article. You should go read it and listen to it.
That's Libsyn.com. We are also affiliates of Weeby Geeks, the podcasting network with all the geeky shit on it.
Oh, that's the other one. Like you said, Stitcher. Like I didn't know it was a real thing. I thought you were just trying to make a weird joke.
No, Stitcher is a podcast platform.
Oh, and then Weeby Geeks. I had to put those down. So
WeebyGeeksPC.com. You're going to see all the other podcasts. You can listen to ones like Nerds Who Get Laid sometimes. That's a funny podcast. That's a pretty good one.
Hey, can I join them?
Poop Culture Podcast.
I'm a nerd that gets laid sometimes.
Just swipe right on Tinder, bro.
Maybe you need to message them.
Sweet. I'm going to message them.
I'm going to tell your girlfriend.
Poop Culture Podcast, other good podcasts. We're affiliates. You can also check out all of our shit on TheFreeRotation.com. That's all I got to say.
I'm looking up Splinter Twin.
Okay.
Put a token that's a copy of this creature onto the battlefield. This token has haste. No, it wouldn't put it.
No. Now, if you did it before combat, yeah. Because they both attacks have been declared. But you did it after attacks.
But you wouldn't be able to... What they want to know is if you attack with the one... If you declare the attack with the one and then use it to tap to put the next one into play.
Oh yeah, no.
Can't end attack as well.
No, because
you've
already entered the
already,
checklist.
Question
Yeah.
answered.
Yeah.
This isn't Hearthstone. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Wait.
Oh.
We need a PSA.
Don't drink and drive. It's bad for you.
Sure.
Jesus.
Don't sleep with random people because you might end up with an STD that might murder you.
Whoa, that's slut shaming. I didn't know hear that shit.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so it's on, it's recording, it's listening to me speak, it can hear me. Say hi, honey.
Hi.
So that's my wife. We're going to watch some scary movies for the Free Rotation podcast today. Because I fucking hate my fucking friends, but I agreed to do this shit. Once again, white people rule 304. The danger's this way, I'm going to walk toward it. I'm going to need you to run. I'm going to need you to run. Bitch, why are you not running? Oh, please tell me. Oh, the girl behind her. Oh, there's nothing. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, shit. Okay, there was a girl behind her that we saw. All of a sudden, her fucking hair stood straight up. So now the thing's got her, and they can't see it, but it physically. And he just hit it with a fucking. Oh, my God. Hold on. Wait a minute. Things have escalated. Jesus! Ha! Oh, that's creepy. I knew it was gonna happen. Oh. Okay, there's some shit and some stuff, and it's very dark, and I can't really see from this angle. Up, nope, up, look, creepy bitch. She's after you. Run, bitch.